let me tell you about the story of Grace, a beautiful young lady who was deep in the faith, and all she wanted was love to seep into her veins, or an angel from above to come sweep her away. A good girl in a bad world that money runs, a humbling youngin' who just turned 21. School days, work nights, never having any fun, just because she was sick of never having any funds. Saving herself till she was married and in love. Prepare, see it's scary, but if I'm a man ever touched her, she be grabbing a gun or stab him and run and leave no napkin for the blood. But she never thought it could actually happen till it does. So her friend Maxine, who was the captain of the clubs, hooked her up with a guy that caught Grace's eye. Calls, texts, and a little FaceTime. Said he wasn't a player, but that was a major lie. The shady guy asked to take her out for an amazing time. She said yes, even though her heart said no. And all he thought was on your mark, set, go. Now let me tell you about the story of Grace, a beautiful young lady who was deep in her faith, and all she wanted was love to seep into her veins, or an angel from above to come sweep her away. But one day was treating her to some steak, some way. One plate went from eating to a rape, weeping through the pain, just seeking her mistake. Now pleasing ain't the same, it ain't easy now to pray. So he took her to a nice old place. She had a steak and an ice cold drink. With a combination of conversation, it was a nice old date. Little did she know she was this psycho's bait. So they ate, then they split the check. Didn't wait, they just dipped in his legs. Then he said, let's hit the crib for some sex. As shocked as she was vexed, simply upset. Said hell no, then what quickly came next was his elbow, then a fist to the chest. Grip in her neck, rip in her dress. Knocked her out cold and forced his dick in her nest. She awoke slow, didn't know if she was living or dead. Just stuck with blood all in his trunk. As she began to scream, he turned the volume up. He screamed back, fuck all you cunts. It's an understatement when I call you sluts. You'll get buried under pavement if you call the fuzz. Let's skip to the next day, check this, number 6. Chick added to his checklist of sex fix. Couple days go by, not resting, wrestling with how she was affected. Finally called the cops the very next second. He was arrested, next step then Grace went to get tested. Paperwork filled out, fake ID inspected. Found out she was HIV infected. Crying, trying to find him as she hits the exit, thinking I have to send this motherfucker a message. Start off with life in prison, if he admitted, but his lawyer got him acquitted. No charges, just more targets. Now Grace is livid and faith ain't living. Now let me tell you about the story of Grace, a beautiful young lady who was deep in the faith, and all she wanted was love to seep into her veins, or an angel from above to come sweep her away. But one day was treating her to some steak, some way. One plate went from eating to a rape, weeping through the pain, just seeking her mistake. Now pleasing ain't the same, it ain't easy now to pray. She rushed down to the courtroom looking a mess. He comes out with more jewels, dressed to impress. Blows a kiss for fun as he walks down the steps. Grace lifts a gun and blows a hole in his head.